video, we are going to talk about some tips on how to not be nervous during a call center interview. Hi there Ninja! Welcome back once again. I'm Rhea and you're still watching Call Center Ninja. I share real stories and tips to help you begin, enjoy, and survive your call center lifestyle. So please, if you're new here, please consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button or tap or click the notification bell so you won't miss out on my videos. You might have a good command of the English language, but if you are too nervous during the interview, then you might not get hired. The reason is that each company, each account wants someone who can actually express himself or herself using the English language confidently and with ease. So if as early as the call center interview, it's very obvious that you're sweating, you're too nervous, and you cannot even put yourself together, which means that you cannot answer right away, even though you speak really well, then it's still possible that you will not get hired. But I have to tell you this, it is very normal to feel nervous. I still do. I still feel nervous every time I get interviewed. But the only difference is that, when you are nervous and then it goes away after you start speaking with the interviewer and that you can actually control it, it's good. But if your nervousness gets into your nerve and you cannot speak well anymore, even though you have the best English, then you might still fail the call center interview. Understand your fear. Why are you so nervous? Why are you scared? Are you scared of the interviewer? Are you scared of the questions? Are you scared that you might commit mistakes? Are you scared that you might not get hired? Are you scared that you might be embarrassed because you will not be able to answer those questions? Most of the time, those fears and anxieties are just in our head. So you have to take time to clear your mind, clear your head, and understand where that fear is coming from. And once you understand where your fear is coming from, you can start doing something about that fear. You can start targeting that fear so that you can overcome it. So that when you get to that call center interview, yes, you'll get nervous at first, but it will eventually go away and you will be comfortable. Prepare as much as you can. Prepare in every aspect. What do you need to prepare? Prepare your resume ahead of time. Prepare your outfit. Prepare your answers. And when I say prepare your answers, I don't mean you memorize your answers. You can create an outline of your answers and familiarize. You have to have a template of how you answer the common questions, situational and behavioral questions, and all those questions for call center interviews. If you haven't checked my video about that yet, put in the card up there and on the end screen at the end of this video. Or you can just check my playlists for call center job applications and call center skills. Part of your preparations is also your travel, your destination. Do you know where you are going? Do you know the venue of the interview? Do you know what the outfit should be, as I mentioned earlier? And if you are unsure, it is just best to ask HR or to ask any credible source of information. At least that's one less thing to worry about. So do not underestimate the power of preparation. A lot of good things happen because people prepare and get ready for it. Not just in interviews, in every aspect of life. If you want to be confident and succeed, then you have to prepare. Be ready. And when you practice the call center interview questions, when you rehearse, you can try looking at yourself in front of the mirror. The reason for this is that you are able to see your posture. Do you slouch when you talk or when you sit? Do you look weak or do you look confident. Chin up, smile. Right? So when you look at the mirror, you will realize what you need to adjust, like your body language. Are you too stiff? Are you too loose? So just enough for you to look confident. You can also check your facial expressions, because your facial expressions might be weird or might come off as offensive or scary. We don't know. I always do that because sometimes I have weird facial expressions. You can do that too, to avoid them from happening, or for you to practice having a more positive facial expression, or more pleasant facial expression. Another thing that you have to prepare for is your research about the company. You will be more confident to express yourself because you were able to research about the company. Do that days before, okay? Be self-aware. You will be able to express who you are if you know your strengths and your weaknesses ahead of time. A lot of the common questions and basic questions are actually personal questions. And if in that aspect you're not even able to explain and to express who you are, and it's already a personal thing, then it might mean something else. And you might also get nervous if you are explaining something about you. Some people have the tendency to back down or to be shy when they are talking about themselves. But interviews are all about selling yourself to the company, to the interviewer, so that they will hire you. So if you don't know your strengths and what you can contribute to the company, then you really have a reason to be nervous, because you don't know why you're there in the first place. So it also goes back to the preparation part. You have to note down your strengths and your weaknesses and know yourself. I always say this, but you will be nervous during your call center interview if you arrive at the venue 5 minutes before your interview, or worse, 2 minutes, 1 minute, or on the dot the time of your interview. So always avoid that. You have to be there at least 30 minutes before your scheduled interview, or 15 minutes would be good, 20 minutes. Give yourself enough time to breathe before the interview starts. That happens all the time and you don't notice it, but that makes you nervous because you're rushing. When you are already running late, your heart is racing because, okay, I might miss my interview. And when you get there, you start being nervous and it just ruins the entire interview portion, question and answer portion. Okay. The interviewer wants to highlight your skills. Okay, the interviewer will not bite you. A lot of the interviewers that I've encountered are actually good, and they actually make you feel better. They actually make you feel at ease. So do not be scared of that, because a lot of interviewers will just think of your own good. And you can treat it as if you're just conversing with your friend. Of course, you don't have to be feeling close, stay professional, but it's really just a conversation of two people wanting and needing to know each other very well. Because of course, okay, they would want to get to know you better, because they will accept you into their homes, into their own company, right? So when you think of it that way, you stop being nervous, hopefully, because you know that, okay, I'm just talking to a friend, and when I talk to a friend, I don't really get nervous, right? You don't really get nervous when you talk to your friend. It's just a casual conversation of people getting to know each other. But also do not forget that it's actually an interview and that you are selling yourself. But do not punish yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. And be aware of your body language, okay? When you're aware of how you are when you're nervous, you are also aware of how to avoid it or how to control it. Like, if you know that when you're nervous, your hands are shaking, your nerves or the veins on your forehead are showing, or you're turning bloody red, at least you can control yourself and be aware that, okay, I have to breathe, I have to inhale and exhale, and I have to relax. You have to be self-aware, and you can do that by thinking positively. Everything will be fine. Okay, watch out for the negative body language. Okay, if it helps, you have to think of the good things. Sit up straight. If you slouch, if you're too loose, as I want to mention earlier, you will not be able to project your voice. Like when you sit like this, you're not able to project your voice properly. But when you sit like this, okay, and you take a look at your shoulders, take a look at your chin, your face, and your body, then you will be able to project your voice very well, and that will make you sound more confident. Even if you are actually nervous inside, it will help you look like you're nailing it. You will get nervous because you are overthinking. Okay? When you overthink, there are so many things in your head, and you will not be able to answer properly. So your nervousness, your nerves will just get into your nerves. That's an overkill. Or you will just be more nervous. So your job during a job interview is to answer the interview questions. Whether or not your interview questions are good enough will be judged by your interviewer. So give it to them. Do not second guess your answers anymore. Just move on and continue with your answers. Okay, and do your best. Do and answer as much as you can with a positive or in a positive manner. Take your time in answering tough questions. It doesn't mean that you will wait 5 minutes before you answer that question, but it's okay to pause for a while after the interviewer asks the question. They will give you time to answer and to formulate whatever is brewing in your head. So, especially if it's a tough question, a lot of people get nervous right away because, oh my God, it is a difficult question. I don't know how to answer this question again. Avoid overthinking. Just say the best thing that you can think of. And lastly, you have to realize that mistakes happen. It's just all about mindset. The interviewer or the company is not looking for a perfect employee. The interviewer and the company are looking for someone they can work with. I want to let you know that when you feel nervous during an interview, or when you're nervous before an interview, you have to realize that you are already doing your best just by being in that interview. And that's granted that you already prepared beforehand and you've done all the things that I mentioned before you reached this point. Okay, so mistakes happen and you have to accept them. Forgive yourself if you think that you haven't given the best answer. And the truth is, if and only if you did not get hired for that job, there is always another job waiting for you. Okay, so that alone, that kind of mindset alone will give you hope that even though you did not make it in that interview, you just have to move forward to the next interview and do your best, prepare more, adjust your opportunities. You have to take note of your opportunities and do better next time. Okay, so don't worry about it. I actually talked about how to handle job rejection in my past video. So link up there or on my end screen or on my playlists. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. If you like this content, please like, subscribe if you haven't, and comment below your thoughts. I'd love to read and respond to each one of them. Okay, so I have videos every Wednesdays and Fridays, and I do hope you continue supporting me in my journey and in this YouTube community. See you again next time. Take care and bye-bye.